he'll lose his commissary, all that kind of stuff. So it's used as a form of control. They can't stop it, you know. They know they can't stop it. No real effort is made to stop it. All the prisoners are strip searched and stuff like that constantly, supposedly to stop the drugs. But everyone's just going through the motions. The guards know they can't stop it, the prisoners know they can't stop it, and the whole place is just flooded with drugs. And again, I gave the example of the violence earlier, how the young person comes in and smoking weed, and he joins the gang, and he learns this violent way of life. They also come in and they graduate to shooting up heroin and shooting up crystal meth from smoking weed. Up to 2/3 of them have got hepatitis C, which is the deadly form. It costs $30,000 a year to treat. And if the prison treated them all, it would bankrupt the prison. So they prefer them to just die because it's cheaper for the prison rather than... So there's massive hepatitis C epidemic in the prison system right now. And when these guys get released, they're spreading it out to society, and it's putting these massive costs on society as well. And this is all coming about because of the rampant drug use. Hundreds of guys sharing a dirty needle. You know, hepatitis C, AIDS, TB, everything. And they've locked all these people up, but they can't afford to take care of them medically. And because it's a for-profit thing, you know, it's the public ends up bearing the cost in the long run when these people are released back to society and they've got to get all these treatments and they're spreading their diseases. Yeah. So there's all this stuff that's going on, and all the public hears in the media is politicians going, we're locking up rapists and murderers and the scum of the earth, but the public doesn't know all this stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I would have never have known. I was one of those people who thought prisons were just full of Hannibal Lecter, serial killer types, which society needed to be protected from. I didn't know all these corporations were profiting from the most vulnerable members of society and further criminalising them and making it a worse problem for society in the long run. But that's what it is. It's all about money. It's all about profits. The politicians bringing these laws in are owned by the corporations. They just get massive political contributions from them to tighten the laws, and it's getting worse and worse. 1 in 100 adults in prison in America. For African Americans, it's like 1 in 17. African Americans now are more likely to go to prison than college in America. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Because there was such like a big presence of drugs in prison, when you went into prison, did you like make a decision to go clean, or did you carry on taking drugs in prison?
The SWAT team smashing my door down was the biggest wake-up call in the world for me, as far as my drug habit was concerned. I saw the end result of drugs in prison. I couldn't believe all these guys had hepatitis C. I couldn't believe it. As I slowly found out that nearly everyone I was living with had hepatitis C. Yellow jaundiced skin, teeth rotten out, going around all day talking about the blood cell counts and the treatments, interferon I think it's called, and all this stuff. It's a completely different world. I'd seen that. It was like I had a glimpse of the future of what drug use leads to. You know, like a Christmas Carol where the ghost, he takes him and can look in the future. Kind of like that. I had this look into this world. You know, when I started out on that road, I'd seen the Celebrity Addicts and the movies and the music videos, and I thought it was cool. But as you get further and further down that road, the pleasure goes down and the pain increases each time you do drugs, because you're always chasing those earlier highs. And I was where I was, but way further down that road, dying young, you know, and stuff like that. And I didn't want to end up like those guys. So it made me stop wanting to go down that road.
So were you ever seen as like weak for not?
Yes. If you don't do drugs, you're lame in prison. You're considered a lame. So I had to hang out with the lames. We called ourselves the prison intelligentsia. We were all reading and doing self-help programs, reading a lot of books, doing college correspondence courses and stuff like that. But as far as the majority of the prisoners were concerned, we were lames. We didn't have any say in the main prison affairs. And the main prison affairs all revolved around who's going to get smashed and how we're getting the drugs in today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Okay. So when you were in jail, did you ever feel like you weren't going to get beaten up? Like even in your cell, did you always feel that there was someone?
There's no time in jail that you don't feel like you're not going to get beaten up. And when you first go in, you can't sleep for days. Your adrenaline is going, your heart is just beating all night long against the mattress, and you wake, and even if you do drift off, you wake up and your heart is still going. And you got a look of shock on your face, and the gang members come up to you, they did in my case, and said, get that look of shock off your face or else you're going to get paid on. There are moments when you can get in the zone, like I did when I was writing and stuff like that, the times when we were locked down and I was writing and I felt comparatively sane. But anything could happen, you know, someone could come by your door and blow dart you. What the blow darts they use is they get a little chicken bone, they make a blowpipe, they put the excrement on it, and remember they've got hepatitis C, blow dart you with it, it pierces your skin, gets into your bloodstream, and your blood transports the excrement throughout your body, and it really messes your immune system up. If they want to be particularly nasty, they leave the excrement in a bucket of urine for days on end until it grows mold on it, and then they blow dart you with that, and again your blood transports that throughout your body, and it really messes you up. You could be in the day room playing chess, they can all be watching TV, and you think, you know, everyone's getting along, and the next thing you just hear something and someone's getting, you know, smashed in the jaw and stomped on, and until they look like they're dead, and it can just happen. Anything can happen at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're constantly on guard, and your adrenaline's constantly going. It's wearing you out. Your adrenaline is going so much. It's not healthy at all, like cortisol. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Do you not, because I would have thought that it would be like the prisoners against the guards.
Yes.
And that the prisoners would have stuck together rather than like picking on each other.
Yeah.
Is that to then prove themselves to the guard, or is it just, because, do you know what I mean, like surely...
The convict code dictates it is the prisoners versus the guards, and you're not allowed to make friends with the guards because you get beat up for snitching. You're not allowed to say anything to the guards about any of your prisoners, anything like that. So that is one of the prison rules, it's one of the main rules. You do not give the guards any information, you don't pal up to the guards, all that kind of thing. But that doesn't make the prisoners any more united when it comes to all the disputes that are going on between the prisoners. Now, most disputes as well are within the race, because the drug business is so big, the gang leaders don't want the prison locked down. At all costs, they don't want it locked down. If the prison's locked down, prisoners can't get out of their cells, and the drug business grinds to a halt. They want the drugs being smuggled in, they want them being sold on the yard. So if there's a race riot, then the whole prison gets locked down for a long time, it stops the drug business. So if two people have a problem, the prisoners will tell them to go and fight it out under the stairs and squash the beef. If two people have a problem and his friend jumps in, and his friend jumps in, and then his friend jumps in, you've got a riot on your hands, and the prison gets locked down and the drug business gets stopped. So beefs are mostly squashed one-on-one, and they're mostly within the race. If a black person has a problem with a white person, then the white person will go to the head of the whites, the black person will go to the head of the blacks. The heads will say, these guys have got to fight it out one-on-one under the stairs, and then the beef will be squashed. And after they've had a fight, you'll see them in there smoking together, just talking. It's just cost of doing business. It's just another day in prison, basically. Yeah, because they don't want things escalating so that the whole prison gets locked down. But sometimes they can't stop it from escalating, and it does. And I was in one situation like that. Okay, do you have a question?
How did the other cellmates react to your friend with gender dysphoria?
Oh, how did my cellmates react to Xena? Xena was hilarious. I mean, Xena just captured everyone's attention everywhere she went, just with her humour. Have you ever been to like a drag queen stand-up comedy show where they pick on the audience? Well, if you